Welcome back to the semifinals of our midseason showdown here at Pokemon Labs, presented by Psycho Turtle Collectibles. We have a very exciting match for our semifinal. It's Junxi versus Giovanni Costa. This is going to be intense because these are two very, very well-positioned players right now when it comes to championship points. Both of them, I believe, have punched their ticket to Worlds. So this is kind of an exhibition match to see which one's going to come out on top. And both of them running relatively balanced teams. However, a couple interesting choices. We're seeing the return of Roaring Moon Golden Go for Junxi, while Giovanni has Whimsicott. That is fun. We haven't seen Whimsicott for a while. Tornadus kind of outclassed it. So now to see Whimsicott with Fake Tears and Encore, it's going to be scary. And there's the full team. So you're going to see Junxi on the left with Incineroar, Amoonguss, Urshifu, Rapid, Strike, Landers, Incarnate, Golden Go, and Roaring Moon, while Giovanni's on the right with Dragonite, Chenpao, Incineroar, Golden Go, Ogerpon, Wellspring, and Whimsicott.
And just off the bat, I'm intrigued by the Roaring Moon, I think specifically, is what really gets me out of this, is because we've seen this team, this Junxi's team is kind of where, unless I'm like totally getting my wires crossed, it's where a lot of Josh's team currently was kind of originated from in this area with that Porygon 2.
Yeah, no Porygon 2.
But no Porygon 2, it's the Roaring Moon instead, none of that Trick Room angle. But still with the Incineroar and the Amoonguss, those kind of pivot, I don't know what word I was looking for there. They pivot all the time.
Yeah, you have two modes here if you're Junxi, or three really. You have the Roaring Moon Amoonguss, you have Golden Go Amoonguss, and then you have Instant Urshifu pivots. Which are very good, all three of those. You have Roaring Moon and Amoonguss are very good complements to each other because you have Knockoff, which now allows you to knock off safety goggles on certain Pokemon and go for Spores, while Amoonguss can redirect Roaring Moon, so that way you're fine. I think the one thing here that's really kind of tricky is Incineroar for that combo. If you do, and actually Incineroar is just really tricky in general for Junxi's team. I think we're going to see a combination of those Incineroar, Urshifu, Rapid, and Landos to just make sure that you get rid of Geo's team here.
On Geo's side, we're getting the Chenpao Dragonite, as we have been seeing a lot lately. On Junxi's side, Landorus and Urshifu.
You know, there's an interesting case here. How much damage does Surging Strikes do onto the Chenpao? Is that going to matter?
I definitely KOs.
I think so.
Do you get KO'd first?
If you're Terra
Does
Normal
like
Choice
Terra Normal Choice Band Extreme Speed KO the Urshifu first?
I say yes.
I would also say yes.
If you don't have Golden Go, good luck. Okay, yeah. This is interesting. I think you just Icicle Crouch the Lander. I think if you're Junxi, you switch the Urshifu into Incineroar, get the Intimidates going, and then
the most likely to take the hit.
Yeah, and then Terra Poison your Landorus and substitute.
Here is our fun Terrastal. It is Terra Normal Dragonite.
There's one good sign to this. If what I said happened, and
switches.
Oh, okay, well, never mind. There, ignore that. Well, it's fine. I mean, even if you sacrifice the Urshifu here, if you get a substitute on Landorus... Wait, no Terra on Landorus?
Ooh, Urshifu takes it with 6 HP, but Sucker Punch finishes it off. I was wondering about that. It had the extra damage to finish that off. What will the Landorus do here? Landorus does do a lot of damage.
Okay.
Will it be able to... It's going to Earth Power into the Chenpao. Going to bring it down to Sash, but that's not where you need it to be. You need it to be out of the game.
I still think the Terra Poison was decent here because you could have then boosted Sludge Bomb into effectively a no-risk Earth Power onto the Dragonite slot. But
yeah,
right now, you can't fake the Dragonite. I think it KOs your Landorus. But then the good news is because Incineroar has fake out, you have the pressure onto the Chenpao, but I think right now you just go for Protect Knockoff with your Incineroar. It seems like the obvious play though, and if Giovanni reads it, which Giovanni is really good at reading opponents.
Giovanni's really good at Pokemon.
That's like the most that's an understatement.
Yeah.
Then you can just click, and the switch out's fine at this point. You just go for you can extreme speed onto the Incineroar.
Incineroar versus Incineroar.
That's really good. Like really good.
Absolutely. And Geo's Incineroar, he does like making those things Assault Vest. It's going to be the Lando Protect.
I think even here with his extreme speed,
Extreme speed. Yeah.
Oh, into the Lando slot.
Did not pick the right slot there, but I don't think it matters that much, all things considered. The parting shot's nice. I don't know. I think if you're Geo, you can cycle and you're fine. It's an out at least for Junxi. even though like it's not good, but it's at least better.
I don't think that Extreme Speed KOs either of these at this point. And
I don't think so.
if you continuously breaking swipe, basically what I think it's going to come down to is how much does a -1. Oh, it's not breaking swipe, it's acrobatics.
Yeah. Okay, question number 1 here. Fake out plus extreme speed, what does that do to, I guess, Roaring Moon?
I think you switch the Landers out to Incineroar, and then go for a knockoff onto the Dragonite, so that way it loses big damage, but I think that's the play. You just really want to go to that.
Then do you have to protect your Roaring Moon here?
I think you knock off the Roaring Moon, switch
Or
Landers out.
You just knock anyways?
Yeah. I think the Fake Out's going to go on a Landers anyways, because you can't protect it.
That's certainly true.
But,
Incineroar is a great friend.
I think if you can get rid of the...
He's a great friend. Incineroar is a great friend of mine.
It's a great friend of everyone.
It's a great friend of everyone here.
I gotta figure out
What's the Fake Out into the Roaring Moon? That's smart. That was very smart. Extreme Speed into the Roaring Moon? Come on. Into the Incineroar. That's fine. Still pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
I think a Fake Out onto the opposing Incineroar is fine, though I would think Parting Shot plus knockoff on Dragonite's really good, because you force it to essentially switch out right now, and if it is switching into Chen Pao, it goes down, and you get a Parting Shot on the opposing Incineroar. If it's anything else on Geo's side, it's decent, except the Ogre Fun. We're going to swap that out.
Dragonite's going to head on out of there.
It's Golden Go. If you knocked off onto that Dragonite slot, you have a very, very good position right now. And there it is.
And there's the knock. Goodbye, Golden Go. The one-hit KO.
Oh! Yeah, I don't think it would have gone down -1.
Maybe.
It wouldn't have necessarily mattered, because you could have just done it again.
Could have just done it again. Someone running for the U-turn on the Roaring Moon. Even though I mentioned it, I still keep forgetting that this is the bested Incineroar option.
If Junxi Parting Shots here, that's very solid.
And Dragonite's back. There's Flare Blitz into that Dragonite, which is about half the HP. About half. This isn't terrible, honestly, if you're Geo. Because you can bring in Chen Pao here, and then I don't know.
I don't know. I don't.
Or maybe
know.
you don't.
I think it's gonna be very interesting.
Junxi's in a good spot. I think Junxi's got a lot of agency here on the decisions. I think I don't know. I think you can like take out the other Incineroar and then try to do some business with Dragonite.
I think if you're Junxi, you protect Roaring Moon and go for a knockoff on Dragonite. Get rid of that choice band and you're golden. I think that's kind of the key. Because at that point, you can have a Terra on Landers and just...
The issue, yeah, you Fake Out here.
No protect or switch outs, so...
And then if it's an extreme speed on the Roaring Moon, I think it KOs.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a great play by Geo.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, I would have thought Junxi could have gone for like a protect or something.
I think the protect was a smart play.
But I guess the protect would have left. It would have put the situation the same, where you could knock off with one of them. One of them would have gotten the knockoff.
Which I think honestly is
like the next turn.
I think
this probably would have been better.
I agree.
Like,
completely agree.
If the Fake Out had been stalled out, and now the Incineroar can't cycle or anything. So if the Chen Pao comes back in, the Lando's absolutely toast.
You kind of have to. Now it's a combo though. If you knock off, if you're Junxi and you knock off Geo's, well, it doesn't necessarily even matter. Chen Pao doesn't need to do anything. It's faster than both of Junxi's remaining Pokemon. I think that's really, really important.
That's the thing. It's absolutely. I'm pretty sure it takes out Incineroar and it absolutely destroys Landorus.
The fact that Incineroar's Terra Grass as well is really a bit unfortunate into this situation because
I was gonna say I think E-Speed KOs the Incineroar here, and then what does Landorus do?
That
Earth Power. That'll finish off the Dragonite.
But knockoff incoming.
Yeah, knockoff, and also I don't know. I feel like Icicle Crash incoming. Ice Spinner, actually. Not even the chance of missing of Icicle Crash.
Wow, it's Ice Spinner this time. Are we sure it's Ice Spinner this time, or is it another Mandela effect?
I am reading with my eyes right now on the sheet.
I think at this point you just Fake Out Ice Spinner, and then Ice Spinner, knockoff, and yeah, there's not There's not much.
There is no way that it takes the first ice spin. I think
No.
Terra's still available.
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
It is. Which actually maybe.
That's the way it'll take the first ice spinner.
Yeah, that's the way to play it.
But it'll still. It won't take 2 ice spinners.
If it lives, knock off an ice spinner.
Well,
you protect for definitely protect for
turn
starters.
1. You protect turn 1.
You have to.
Yeah, and then you, because then you get your. If you take the first ice spinner, or whatever, ice spinner is really the only thing you. Ice spinner, I think, is the best damage that Chen Pao does here.
And before,
regardless.
I could see this being the end game too. Gio protects it, thinking that the target's gonna go on to the Chen Pao, and Incineroar it gets Earth powered and goes down.
Yeah, I guess it's technically a 50-50 on that level.
Okay, that's the expectation here. This is fascinating. So there's definitely a prediction in play, and if the knockoff goes according to plan here.
Yeah.
That's still, I don't think that would have helped. I think the same thing would have happened.
I think this is actually worse for Junxi.
Yeah, I don't think there's, I think
you needed to KO. I think like losing your life orb, there are worse things in life. Orb.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Incineroar will be,
It doesn't matter though. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, the substitute faded. I was gonna say I don't think that the substitute's gonna take this. And
you know
then, what? You're donezo.
I actually think that was a very, very good call, knowing that you're gonna lose the match anyways, because you got information that substitute goes down to a knockoff.
That's true.
Attack.
That's true, and I guess that you probably would have gotten knocked out by the knockoff anyways.
Yeah. If it
so
does,
I guess the information is better than the whatever. I at the same time, I'd wonder if you could have gone for like a like Earth Power into the Incin, because it is like an Assault Vest Incineroar. You don't know how specially bulky this thing is. You could have tried to see if it would knock out for sure.
I wouldn't have mattered though. Ice Spinner with 2 hit, so
yeah, yeah.
So I think it was just a good play.
It's like which information do you care about more, the 1-hit KO on the Incineroar or the substitute?
Yeah.
Because neither would have changed the result of the battle.
That's true. That's true. I think if you're Junxi right now, you saw what happened.
Yeah.
And you know what? I need something to resist those two. I'm gonna go into Golden Go. I think you do want to lead Urshifu and Golden Go because you do take the hits pretty safely. You do survive in extreme speed unless it was a roll, and so if you like do that plus probably Incineroar, yeah, and then you go for Golden Go in the back, and then either in Lando instead of Roaring Moon. I think Roaring Moon kind of got outcost there. Yeah, I think it's the right 4. And if you're Geo, you just play the same thing. I don't see your, except I will say this: you swap your Golden Go out for Ogerpon Water. I don't think Golden Go literally didn't do that much.
Golden Go literally did nothing. It ate 1 knockoff and got knocked out.
And even if it did do something, it is susceptible to Flare Blitz.
I was gonna say, what is it here to do? It gets destroyed by Earth Power. It gets destroyed by. It gets hit pretty hard by Flare Blitz. It folds to knockoff, obviously. It folds to, if it's Terra, it folds to close combat.
I think you just.
I don't know why it's here. I don't know why it was brought.
That's not a bad.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter actually.
No, I think
actually that is different.
I think you definitely bring out Ogerpon Water here. You've gotta bring out Ogerpon Water here. Like, and this is a very good matchup into Ogerpon Water right now. If you're Geo, you just go for a fake out onto the opposing Urshifu, bring out your own Ogerpon, or maybe call the Incineroar switch out and then go for something like that. But we're not gonna see any switches. We're just gonna see a Terra right away. This is Geo's Terra.
This is Geo's Terra. I think it's got to be the Dragonite.
Yeah, no surprise.
No surprise. It is such a great Terrastal. It's so great doing it.
Question is, there's a good chance that this was. Well, it's gonna matter who the fake outs go to.
Did Incineroar fake out Incineroar?
Did Junxi call?
There's no switch. Oh, it's the Incineroar, which is not going to KO. This is a chunk, but I actually don't think the next one will either.
Unless you swap the Chen Pao, no.
Ooh, and it is the U-turn out from the...
I'm surprised at that one, actually. I thought we were going to see a Surging Strikes onto the Dragonite, predicting the Terra.
Yeah, I guess I don't hate the Urshifu just getting on out of there. Because I think it dropped to 2 extreme speeds for sure.
Oh. I think you go into Lando here pretty safely. I actually really like that combo. If you go into Landers, you protect it, and then you go for a Flare Blitz onto the Incineroar slot, because otherwise your Incineroar lives, and I think Gio knows that. Or you go for the knockoff onto the Dragonite slot, and that's, I think, just as useful.
I think the issue with coming in with Landorus and protecting it is what if Incineroar leaves and then switch in Chen Pao, Dragonite, E-Speed, Incineroar.
Then I think you go into
and then what?
Then you go into, I think the play is to Flare Blitz the Incineroar and Earth Power the Incineroar slot, because that way you get rid of. Okay, that's fine. I guess that
is the Incineroar switch out.
Yeah, because I think that way you, if it's Chen Pao, right? Yeah, so you stay in, and so you could have hit the Chen Pao to Sash, and at that point you have a faster with Urshifu Rapid, and
switch out Incineroar.
So I feel like that would have been better in that case.
Incineroar on the move. Ooh, this could be really big for Junxi.
See what happens.
E-Speed. Ooh, that's onto the right target though. That Lando is. Ooh, Lando takes the hit though. Lando eats those. And Chen Pao eats those. That was not even Sash.
I think you just click Nasty Plot.
I hate that.
That was really good. You know, I think that's one thing. I think we both have been kind of overestimating how much damage
we are both.
Dragonite
Yeah, like we overestimated how much damage Dragonite does and how much damage Lando does.
Yeah.
That was against the Chen Pao.
So
this sheer force life form Earth power.
That should KO.
That's stunning. I'm genuinely shocked.
I think it's also, I think the big situation here, this is a bulky Landers. We kind of know that now.
Neither of these Pokemon can do anything to Golden Go.
No, literally. Your best bet is Ice Spin.
Yeah. Yo!
There it is.
I did, like, nothing. Nasty plot. At this point, do you try to trap Golden Go with, well, even if you try to trap Golden Go with, Sucker Punch, it can Era.
Oh, that's the play. You protect and you switch into Urshifu. And unless, but the thing is, I feel like you protect, actually, I feel like you just protect Golden Go and sacrifice Landorus, but that's okay. That works too, I guess.
Incineroar. Well, I like this because you get your big funny make it rain off, and you know that you're not going to drop the Sucker Punch. Probably, maybe.
That's decent.
You are much less likely to drop the Sucker Punch in this scenario. Ooh, predicting Golden Go switch. Yeah, because that's the only reason the Sucker Punch did not KO is because of the Incin switch in.
It was a crit on Dragonite. I don't think it would have KO'd anyways, though. Yeah. That was good call on the Sucker Punch there. Really good call. I still thought I was going to KO personally with that health. I think, because I believe it does, like...
None of the Pokemon do any damage.
Literally, it feels like everything's like at a -1 the entire game. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a max attack Adamant Chen Pao does get rid of Golden Go at full health. So at Intimidate, it should have. It should have.
At -1, yeah, it should do like 2/3 of that damage.
Yeah. So
weird.
It's an interesting case here. I think a parting shot's pretty safe. You really don't even
weird bulky Chen Pao.
Literally. I think we're getting into the end game here. I think if you're Junxi, you want to swap the Incineroar out. I think a parting shot's pretty fine, and then you just protect your Golden Go. Then go into Urshifu, and you turn out onto the Ogerpon. Because at that point, close combat should be able to just pick you up the game after that, because you are Scarfed. I think you just want to really rely on your Urshifu, and just having partners in the back is really good. You could Terra Grass as well. It's not bad, but I feel like you really want to... You don't really need to... I feel like it's actually very valid, because there's not much. You don't want to Terra the Urshifu, even though I think it's the end game here. And I think if you could just go for a Terra Grass Flare Blitz into the Ogerpon slot, that to basically ensure that you get rid of it via a U-turn, then you're in good shape. I think that's... And then if you're Junxi, you just click Close Combat onto the opposing Incineroar and win the game. Yeah, go and go protect the Storm.
Yeah, keep it around. No reason not to. Incineroar fake out onto Incineroar.
Yeah. Because we're going to connect the Golden Go.
Yeah. Even knowing this, like, What are the Incineroar speed tiers?
Okay, this is now an interesting position. I think.
I don't know.
Here. I think.
I don't know. Thumbs up. I think Gia's Incineroar's faster actually. You could go for like a Flare Blitz and Leoning there.
I think you just kind of have to keep
to get out of there.
I don't know if I like this play though, because if Gio called this switch in, you do lose one of your big win conditions.
Woodhammer.
Yeah, I knew it.
The Urshifu.
I knew it.
And that is absolutely a bear that is no longer involved in this battle.
But the thing is, I believe the Shadow Ball does connect with the Ogre Punch, should pick up a KO at +2. So it's, I still think you're fine.
I still think Junxi's fine.
Yeah, okay.
And now it's just an Incineroar. Even if the Incineroar knocks out the Golden Go, which it probably will.
That was a good call.
Cool. Incineroar goes, wee, Flare Blitz.
There is a, you know, looking at Junxi's position, there was a lot of options there. The worst case scenario was that it did not KO either. You're lucky it wasn't Horn Leech at this point. You can just clear Earth Power and win this one if you're Junxi.
Yeah, I think you can. We don't know. We didn't see whether it KO'd earlier.
That's true, it's Assault Dust.
It is Assault Dust.
That's why I think Close Combat was a bit more reliable, but
the Intimidate, it'll probably make sure that it's enough.
This is fake out, you're fine.
Yeah, and a fake out. It's
yeah,
totally,
okay. Yeah,
now we still don't get the information.
We will never know.
We will never find out. I'm gonna look it up after.
No, we really should.
I'm gonna look it up after.
Really brilliant playing from Junxi there. A lot of options. I feel like what was really interesting is like just theorizing, you know, behind the caster desk, you kind of consider what's the opponent going to do. And Junxi played strategies that I thought were riskier, but ended up with the exact same position that he wanted to be in, which, like that last one, I thought you gotta rely on Close Combat because Incineroar can't do anything. Onto Urshifu Rapid Strike. I mean, best bet is you get knockoff, and that's not great. And then Junxi was like, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice my Urshifu and use Landorus instead. And I think that was really important. So I think it's one of those things where Junxi has just so many options with this team that if you could predict it, then good luck, because there's a second, more efficient way that's going to accomplish the same result. And that's something that Junxi is just really good at, is knowing how to build this team where it's like, you know what? I've got two different choices here. Let's play the mind games. And it works. It absolutely works. I believe that's why he's won the most Reg F tournaments. He's kind of become the king of Reg F. And we're going to see pretty much him defending his title against someone who is a legendary player like Giovanni. And so
yeah, Gio hasn't showed up to a ton of the Reg F tournaments. He had his world seed locked in pretty early.
Yeah, and so he's just like, you know what, I'm gonna take it easy. But
yeah,
I think right now you definitely bring the same 4 if you're Junxi. I don't see any use in Amoonguss into this matchup right now with Dragonite and Chen Pao on the field, and I do not see a use for Roaring Moon right now. It did work in the first game, but you still lost the first game, so it's like, I would just bring the same 4. Same thing for Gio though. I think Chen Pao Dragonite was really good, although you gotta really pay attention to some of those damage calcs, because they're interesting. But Whimsicott can't really do too much into this matchup.
Especially the Landorus Earth Power and Incineroar.
Yes, that we've got to find out. But yeah, I think you're just playing the same 4 for Gio as well. And we are going to see Chen Pao Dragonite lead, but this time with Incineroar and Urshifu. Okay. Fascinating. I think the play here is to fake out the Chen Pao and Surging Strikes the Dragonite. I don't see any way that doesn't work out. Because at that point, the Dragonite's 50%, and sure, it can knock you out afterwards, but then there's a good chance, I believe, a Surging Strikes plus Flare Blitz, if the Dragonite Terra Normals, gets rid of it. And so it's a risky play, but I think Gio, I don't see any way that Gio doesn't Extreme Speed and do something onto the Chen Pao. Could see the Dragonite switch into Urshifu, I'm sorry, Ogre Palm Water, but it's the Chen Pao switching out. So yeah, I just
Chen Pao has to switch out. You can't.
I think
you Terra both of them.
I think you just take the advantage of having okay, never mind. I was gonna say you just hit the Dragonite knowing it's most likely gonna Terra, and then it does not Terra.
And then it don't Terra.
Yeah.
And then it don't Terra, and it takes the Close Combat super fine. I think it would have gotten knocked out otherwise.
Oh, it would have.
Aerial would be nasty. Atomic Tantrum's fine.
I think this is an interesting one. I think Parting Shot's really good into Incineroar, and then you can kind of swap on out to your Landorus, knowing that it can't do anything. These, like, Geo's Pokemon, really susceptible to Landorus right now. Parting Shot would help you force a switch out on the Dragonite. I think you just swap your Urshifu for Landorus, and you could Flare Blitz the Golden Go, but I think there's a really good chance it protects their Nasty Plots right now, and at that point you're free to just Earth Power it and then swap into your own Golden Go to go ahead and just finish off the Dragonite. So I think a Parting Shot plus a hard switch on Urshifu into Landorus is going to be the play here for Junxi, but there's a couple options. This is not one of the ones I expected. Urshifu just wasting a close combat onto that Golden Go, does not make contact. The Make It Rain happens, does pick up the knockout on Urshifu. That, it was a scary play there. That was a scary play. I mean, I get it, but I feel like a hard switch into Landorus would still been better.
Yeah.
We are see Stomping Tantrum connect now with Incineroar.
Yeah, because now the Stomping Tantrum gets that free hit on the Incineroar, and yeah, that's 2 knockouts. That's 2 knockouts right there.
Not fun. Good news. Your Golden Go's Terra Dragon and will resist, or not resist, but at least bring the Stomping Tantrum down to neutral. The bad news is you then lose to Chen Pao. So what is the play here? I think Earth Power on Golden Go and then going for Terra Dragon Nasty Plot could work, or you could just go for the Make It Rain to hopefully get rid of the Dragonite. But then you are so susceptible to Chen Pao in the back with both of your Pokemon, no matter which one you Terra, that it is scary. And Landorus is Terra Poison. It's unfortunate because I feel like I wouldn't even be surprised if we see a Shadow Ball from Junxi into Gio's Golden Go and then just a Protect on Landorus too. I think that's also very valid, but then you're going to probably lose your Golden Go.
And you probably lose Golden Go.
Yeah, this is a great spot for Gio.
It's a really nice spot for Gio to be in.
Okay, I like that. I do like that play actually quite a bit. The substitute's really solid here because if you can survive this, then you get that free extra hit on Chen Pao, which is what you need, but it's still scary. And there's the substitute going first. I don't think that if it's a Shadow Ball with that slot, I don't think it will do very well. Let's Make It Rain. I -1.
Should break the substitute at least.
Imagine it would.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not terrible.
It's not bad. Honestly, you could probably go for the exact same thing again next turn. You get your Golden Go, Make It Rain. Doesn't knock out the Dragonite, but Dragonite shouldn't knock out Golden Go, right?
It's gonna get it low enough though. I think it's gonna do. Yeah, about 80.
Landorus could go for another substitute for once. Like you could do basically the same play.
I think you. But I think you protect Golden Go. I just do. Because I think you really are banking on how many times do I have to lower attack, and there's no recovery, and Chen Pao's scary and can one-hit KO you. I think you gotta Make It Rain, and I don't know. Yeah, there's...
Ooh, Landorus Earth Power onto that Golden Go.
Better, but it's still not great.
Yeah.
I feel like that actually would...
No, because now you get rid of the Dragonite.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna come down to Chen Pao shenanigans.
That's always the.
And with Incineroar, I believe in the back, it's really good. Are we gonna?
That's the big thing. Ooh, Ogre Pond.
Never gonna get the. So we officially will not get the calc on the Assault Vest.
I know. I was looking it up.
I was
looking it up in the middle of the battle. I'm like, I have to pay attention.
I'm curious. I don't see any situation that this works out for Junxi.
Yeah, these are some fast guys.
Because even Terra
Junxi seems already resigned to it.
Yeah, with that Terra still in play. I think the big mistake here for Junxi was just those two going down really early. There was a couple unfortunate plays that just led to an early knockout on both of Junxi's Pokemon. And there's a really good chance that this Ogre Pond outspeeds Landorus because it is a bulkier Lando, as we saw, and so you're just free to cook Ivy Cudgel and win the game. And let's see if that's exactly what happened. And Giovanni Costa going on to the finals, defeating the King of Regaf.
Absolutely, really well done there by Gio.
You know, I've noticed something with Gio's team. What's really scary about Gio's team. the amount of leads it has. You have Dragonite Chen Pao, you have Incineroar Dragonite, you have Ogerpon Golden Go, you have Chen Pao just with Incineroar, which is also really good, and you have Whimsicott just for the heck of it. There's so many lead options, and if you lead wrong, as we kind of saw, which is what happened to Junxi, you could instant lose the game. And because there's so many different modes, that's why I think Gio's team is exemplary. But of course, you cannot have a good team without a good player. And so Gio knows how to pilot it and knows how to make those reads, as we saw very early on as well. In this, I think in game 1, there's a lot of good calls there from Gio, and that's exactly why he's in the finals right now. He's got a great team with multiple leads, and he's a heck of a player.
Indeed, and we will see him in finals against someone else. We will find out in just a moment.
It's going to be either Alberto or Abigail. Not sure yet. We're going to find out in just a moment.
Don't go anywhere.